New Thought Media Network is proud to present Cosmic Prayers, your weekly shift, Mondays at 11 Mountain Time, with your host, Laura Topper. The Cosmic Prayers, live from the UK. And now, here she is, Laura Topper.
Hello, hi, and welcome to the Cosmic Prayer. I'm so excited to be here today. Welcome to you, wherever you are, whoever you are. You have landed at New Thought Media Network, Facebook Live. You're on the Cosmic Prayer watching me now. My name is Laura Topper, and I'm just so blessed to be here because we have amazing guests today. I just would like to make you aware, though, that you mean so much to me being here and knowing that you are gleaning every week from the guests that come on to the Cosmic Prayer. Because Cosmic Prayer is here to inspire you to really know how to use these tools of prayer, which over the weeks, if you listen to the broadcasts here, you'll hear different people's interpretation of that. And this week is no different to that. The Cosmic Prayer has a Facebook page, which you can join. It's a group page. If you go onto Facebook, you can find it there. Hello, Chris. It's so good to be with you here. Are you on the Cosmic Prayer Facebook page? If not, please go over there and join it there. The banner's going across. And the other thing that I wanted to say was, if you're interested in sponsoring this show, you are welcome to be a sponsor of the Cosmic Prayer. You can contact us here through Facebook, through the direct message or New Thought Media Network website, and you can find out more about being a sponsor of this show. So my name is, there we go. Thank you, Diego. Diego, the amazing producer, production guru behind the scenes who's putting up all these amazing banners. Thank you, Diego. This week, I am just so excited to bring onto the show two dear friends and colleagues of mine who are based here in the UK, from the UK. Lin and David Serlin are both licensed practitioners here in Kings Langley, which is a town which is outside of London, just north of London. Lin and David have been practitioners for a couple of years now. However, they have been immersed in New Thought teachings for their own lives for many, many years. And as spiritual teachers and leaders and healers, they use these principles for themselves, and they bring together gatherings of groups of people to teach New Thought philosophy to here in the UK. I just feel so excited to bring Lin and David on because of the work that they are doing with their enthusiasm, with their writing. David is an author, published author. Lin also is an author of amazing poetry, and they have so much to share. So let's right now welcome onto the show, David and Lin Serlin.
Thank you. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Laura,
for that glowing introduction.
Yes.
We've got a lot to live up to.
We feel very blessed to be with you and absolutely honoured to be on your show. Thank you.
It's incredible for you to be here. And because, you know, so many beautiful guests come on this show. And over the weeks, I meet so many people, and many of them are from the States. And so for you to be here from the UK, it's like, yes, we are doing this here in the UK as well.
Made in the UK.
Made in the UK. So how are you both, Lin and David? I know that you're busy with your work and you have so much, you know, going on in your lives. But how are you, and how is prayer fitting into your life right now? Let's ask Lin that.
Okay, so thank you, Laura. So for me, I'm very well, thank you, and feel very blessed that we actually have these teachings, especially at this time, because it's so easy to get immersed in what's going on outside in the world. But through these teachings and through these tools, and particularly through prayer, we can take ourselves to a different place and know the truth. And it's life transforming. It helps us deal with every situation every single day. So we turn off the news and we go into that place, that special sacred place, to transcend what is going on in the physical world and take ourselves to the truth of exactly who we are in this place and who we are in our own being. So thank goodness for these wonderful teachings, especially at this time, which can help so many people and is helping so many people to hold on to that truth of the reality of who we are. We're spiritual beings having a human experience, and that's something that we can always hold on to. David.
Well, would you like me to add to that, Laura?
I'd love you to add that, David. I would.
Always let the wife get the first word, and often the last word as well. In these times, these challenging times we live in, I think in a sense it makes the work we're all involved in even more important and relevant. We would say to people, when things are going well, when the sun is shining, when everything in life seems to be in harmony and perfect balance, then prayer is a bit of a luxury, and it's sort of it's very easy. It's when we have challenges and issues, and of course this last year has brought up a lot of issues for a lot of people, that we really need to resort to prayer, to affirmation, to affirmative prayer, and really see that it works. So from our point of view, we've always been interested in the practical side of prayer. In other words, practical spirituality, how we can use these principles in everyday life and see them work. But I think we both feel this last 9 months we've had to use it very tangibly for people who are very desperate concerns, and to lift everyone up into the light. And it's been a lesson, an ongoing lesson for us. So really our message and our sort of key focus is how to make spirituality relevant and practical to people's everyday concerns and life, so that they can actually see that it works, and we do know it does work.
I love that. And I know from the work that you do how devoted you are, and how many years you have both, for how many years you have both been so proactive with creating environments specifically for groups of people to come together, to work together. And so, Lynn, how important do you feel doing this one-on-one is great, and having a community, and the community that you've really kind of, you've shaped and molded it with so much love over the years. And how beneficial do you think that, or do you know that prayer is for the community of people that you have coming to you on a monthly basis?
Well, it's been really, really essential, because over the years, people are always going through challenges. There's always change. So using prayer, people can see another way. And the beautiful thing is, I can pray for someone when they can't pray for themselves. And I think that is a beautiful thing, that we can support people through their challenges, help them to see the light, and lift them up when things, when they're in a dark place. And for me to see the transformation that happens with other people, and to see, them coming through into a place of joy and happiness and solutions, it's just so rewarding and so uplifting. And as you said, it's the faith and belief. We know that it works, and we trust it and believe it. And this is the beauty of it. It works. Prayer works.
Yes. And it is amazing as practitioners to be able to take it beyond ourselves and use it for our, for those that come to us, and even for those that don't come to us on some level, to make that prayer, to know that prayer.
Absolutely. And Laura, I see people on different levels. I'm also a nutritionist, so I see people through different means, and somehow I'm always able to introduce them to affirmations, affirmative prayer, at whatever level they can accept it. And that for me is so wonderful, because we can bring it to people who don't know about this. We can introduce and plant seeds where people, haven't had the wonderful experience of this philosophy. And that too is such a beautiful thing to bring in new people all the time, and to as I said, to plant seeds and to see where they grow.
Do you know, if I can add, there are many experiences. We've been running our sort of new thought groups for many, many years, and they change. Obviously, the texture and energy of the group changes, and people come and go and move on. But what we've noticed, and what really sort of fuels and inspires us, is to see how people's lives change when they become involved in this philosophy. An example, a friend of ours who's now a very sort of integral part of our group that we met up with again after many years. We hadn't seen her for a long time. We bumped into her a couple of years ago, and she had been going through a terrible time in her life, terribly stressed, very distressed, very depressed, both physically, very ill, emotionally. And when we bumped into her, literally, she said of a godsend. We invited her to the group. She came along to one of our evenings, and from that point on, her life has transformed. She's still got issues and challenges to deal with, but she deals with it from a totally different perspective. If you met her, and you probably may have seen her in the times you've been with us, she's a totally different person. And this is, part of the joy of what we're doing. We're seeing the way people can get involved in it, and it's a joy. We no longer call it a study group, because we just call it the group. Where people come together and we laugh. And you know what? Spirituality should be fun. We always say to people, we don't take ourselves too seriously. We take the work seriously. We take the books and the readings and the teachings seriously. But we don't take ourselves too seriously. We have a good laugh. And when people come along, they can't believe the atmosphere and the sense of welcoming, and it becomes like a family, like an extended family. So the point I was making is that when people get involved with this teaching, it changes their life.
Yeah.
They can deal with things differently. They still have, we still have issues and concerns and stuff to deal with, but we come at it from a different angle. And I think we can all agree that's the beauty of new thought. We just have a new way of looking at things.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I'm so pleased you talked about that, and I just wanted to mention also that because for years your group, obviously before this year, it wasn't online. Your group was a group where people came in physically and you met in a room once a month, and now that's there are blessings in everything, and what's happened now for us with COVID means that we are online and we are much more. We're able to meet up and link up in ways that we wouldn't have before. And so your group now is online, isn't it? And people can find you and join your group from all over the world. In fact, you have guest speakers coming on from all over the world, from the States, from Canada, from new thought leaders and spiritual leaders coming on into your group to share with the group. So anybody that's listening right now, if they're interested in joining your group, they can, there you go, there's the website, New Thought, New You. And your Facebook page what's your Facebook page called?
New Thought UK.
New Thought UK. So
yes.
people can direct message you or find you through the group to, from wherever in the world, because we are all one, aren't we? And so your work is so accessible now. It really is. So let me ask you, Lynn. Oh, no, go on. Carry on.
I was just going to say that this is another aspect, that to see an opportunity in a challenge, and this is what has evolved. We now have our group every fortnight. We invite people. We've got visitors from all over the country here, and from abroad. We have people coming from Switzerland. We have people coming from the States. It's such a beautiful community, and this has all happened because of the opportunity of using Zoom for our group.
Yes.
So this is the amazing thing about life, is that if you can see an opportunity in a challenge, you have a new way of doing things.
So would you say that is the main, like your mission statement or your vision statement for your group? Is that it? Is that people can actually see life, see the good in life, and use that as the foundation? and using prayer.
I mean, we like to feel that, in a sense, the groups and the Zooms and whatever is creating a spiritual community.
Yeah.
And the beauty is, as Lynn said, until recently, we used to love our physical meetings, and there'd be lots of hugs and physical connection, and the warmth and energy of that group was so powerful. I think you've been along.
I've met them.
Yeah.
Amazing group.
You know what? It's literally like family. And when we had to stop that, it was a real wrench, and we wondered how it was going to happen. But moving on to Zoom, and we've been able to do it more regularly on a fortnightly basis, and open up to people anywhere, obviously taking note of the time difference, has really been a revelation for us. And so it has enabled us to get the message across and get in a different way. Well, we obviously have a different format. We've been able to invite speakers and singers and musicians from all over the world, and it's really been a blessing. So it's taught us a big lesson. Lynn said that whatever you're going through, there's something positive that can come out of it. There are blessings.
Absolutely.
You know, this has been a really difficult time, and we look forward to getting back to our physical group. I think we'll always keep our Zoom, Facebook going, because it's been so special. And we do extend an invitation to anyone who's interested to join, anyone who understands the teaching, obviously on this media, but they're all in the right sort of vocabulary. It's such a joy to welcome you people and to share that. So our mission statement is really to bring people together with like minds, and to have fun, and to get a message. And of course, every time we meet, there seems to be something that's said or something that's read that resonates with something someone's going through in the group. They tell us afterwards, you know what, the question that's been burning on the top of my mind has been answered by this tonight. So it's a powerful process.
And I had that this week. Somebody from the group phoned me and said something I put on our Facebook page, a post I put on our Facebook, answered a question for her and completely changed the situation for her because she followed what it said. And it's just so wonderful, because we know there are no coincidences. Inspiration works, and the inspiration comes through. You express it, you allow it to flow. It helps people, it supports people. It's all so meaningful and so uplifting. You know, I just love this philosophy. I feel absolutely passionate about it. It's certainly changed our lives, and we see it changing so many people's lives, helping people in so many different ways. You know, and it's just so heartwarming.
It's amazing, and I can say this because I've been a part of your group, and I've met your community and your family, your spiritual family, and you have created something very, very special, where I felt it, and I'm sure that people that attend regularly feel such a connection to the power and the intention of what you create, what you both create. It's beautiful. Really beautiful. And I'd like to know, so David, how has prayer informed your life? Because I know as an author as well, which we'll talk about your book in a moment, but just how, on a personal level, how have you used prayer for your journey?
Prayer is very much an ongoing situation rather than something one does sometimes. And the way we see prayer, it's we were talking to Ken Gordon at one of our meetings, and he said every thought is a prayer. So in a sense, prayer is not just one specific thing we do. It's an ongoing process that we're using. And people often say to us, sometimes when we haven't seen them for a while, are you still into this stuff? And we say, no, we're not still into it. It is our life. And prayer and affirmation and using spiritual treatment is not something we just do occasionally. It's something we find ourselves using almost like a daily process. And it's not so much a spiritual practice that we set aside time and say, right, now we're going to do our prayer treatment. It's something that's spontaneous, that we may be walking and think, let's treat for this, let's treat for our son, he's got an exam coming up, let's treat for a meeting we're having, let's treat for a friend who's maybe not feeling well, let's treat for ourselves, that this day should bring us untold new opportunities. So we don't limit prayer to crises and emergencies. and desperate times. It's a total ongoing process. And I think for us, it's constantly unfolding. We love doing our treatments. We cut the phone. You see, it's still live. And Lynn, I can say Lynn particularly does have a particular gift and understanding. Oh, they're desperate, you see.
It's a prayer line, hotline.
It's a hotline.
Yeah, probably someone asking for a prayer.
So I can vouch for Lynn. She does some beautiful prayer treatments, but the essence of it is, it's not the beauty of the words that she uses or the phraseology, which is always so poetic. It's the meaning and the power and the feeling and the passion goes into it, as we always tell people. Don't worry so much about getting the word right, just get. But what impresses me most is when she very quietly, a couple of days later, says, "Oh, you know, I did a treatment for so and so. So, you know, her son was having a terrible problem with this, or a daughter couldn't, the job she wanted wasn't available, or health conditions. Oh, this person has just phoned up to tell me a miracle has happened, and an amazing situation." And we never take results of prayer for granted. We have total faith and belief in the process. But when we hear someone's had literally a little miracle in their life, we stand back and say, wow, isn't that fantastic?
And I should say that in the prayers that we do, we always say for the highest good.
Yes.
For our highest good and for the highest good of all.
Yes.
We make sure that whatever it is that we're affirming, it is indeed for everyone's highest good. The other thing that we like to include is this or something even better, because no matter what our vision can be, there may be something even better which we don't know about.
Absolutely.
So we keep it open for something even better. And the other thing I like to add is divinely blessed. So we know that it's according to divine right action that whatever the way that it unfolds is indeed divinely blessed. And and that way you're not limiting the prayer. You're leaving it open to make it even better than what you can even imagine.
Because in our small mind, we are finite. And I love what you've just said, because that is the place of faith, isn't it? Where we come into that place of absolute faith that, okay, we're sparking it with the word and with the intention and what it is we feel in our hearts. And yet we're sparking the beginning of it. It could be something absolutely incredible that we just can't imagine in our minds. And in that limitlessness, there is that possibility. I love that, what you've just said. Lynn, you've written a prayer, haven't you, for today?
I've actually written a poem about prayer.
Would you like to read it?
I'd love to share it. I'd love to share
please do.
And this is called The Power of My Prayer. I go deeper in prayer, and it takes me there, higher and higher, into the realms of my desire, of sensation, connection, and inspiration, the sacred place of co-creation. The seeds of my new vision, planted with love, thanks, and precision, start to flourish and grow into the thing I come to know. Fueled by faith, passion, and love, blessed with energies from above. The dream becomes my reality. Now I see with clarity the power of my prayer.
Thank you, Lynn. I love that. And I love that part where you see it begins to become what I know. It's like we're not getting it, we're becoming it. That's so powerful.
You just had a world preview.
Yeah, because you've written a poetry book, haven't you? You've written a poetry book, haven't you? You've published a poetry book.
I have, and my poetry book is called Shine On.
Shine On,
because I really feel very strongly that we are the light.
Yes.
And it is if it's in our awareness to know that, then it's in our awareness to shine. Whatever is going on, we need to keep that connection and shine our love into the world. because we do make a difference and we can make a difference. And it's so important that we know that by shining our light, shining our love, compassion, kindness, joy, beauty, wisdom, all the goodness. We really can make a difference.
You are making a difference.
Thank you. So are you, Laura.
Well, you know, it's incredible what you're doing. And before I ask you, David, about your book, is your book available on Amazon, Lynn? Your poetry book?
No, it's not. I've actually only got 6 copies of my booklet left from all the printing that I've had done. And that's what I've got left. If anyone would like a copy, as I said, I've got 6 copies left.
Then we're going to reprint it somehow.
And we're hoping to do a reprint with some added poems, because I've written so much more since then. When I'm able to put it that way, when things are working again. Yeah. So thank you, but thank you.
But it's a lovely mantra as well. You know, when the going gets tough, you know, and the tough get going, we say just shine on, just shine your light, just see the blessings, see the possibilities. It's got a lot of me. It's become a bit of a mantra in our
group. We say that
when people would come in and they say, "I've had a tough day, just shine on," you know. Just shine.
We do. I love it. It's our mantra. Shine on.
So
shine on. Can I use that?
So if nothing else, after tonight, people forget everything else we said. Just remember, shine on.
Shine on. I love it. I love it. I love it.
It's say thank you and shine on.
Shine on.
There could be a song coming.
Yeah, there could be a song coming on.
Collaborate on
that. So David, let me move on to your book. Do you have your book? Where's your book?
Yeah.
Come
Here's
on.
my book. Okay.
Put your book up.
There you go.
Yeah. Power for Good. And it is a beautiful story we won't go into the whole depth of the story of your book, but the book is, thank you, Diego, for putting this up, your Power for Good, which is available on Amazon and probably through your website as well, New Thought, New You. And it is a beautiful story of your and Lynn's spiritual evolution, revolution, and how you came to this teaching and how you have brought this teaching to the UK with all the amazing people that you have magnetized into your experience, who've supported you, teachers, spiritual teachers and leaders who have supported you on your journey. And what did prayer, how has prayer been a part of the process of this writing of this book for you, David?
Well, I was going to say, prayer has been very much a part of our lives for many years, particularly in recent years, when I just want to add something else about prayer, in that when we're dealing with people and difficult situations that we all go through at times, we feel it's so important to clear out any negative feelings about the person before you even embark on prayer. And sometimes, you know, one has situations where there are difficulties, animosities, resentments, all the sort of negative emotions. But we realize that once you step into prayer with any negative feeling, it cancels out the whole sort of benefit of the process. We had a situation some time ago when we were having to deal with a person who was very difficult, and it would have been very easy to fall into a very negative mindset. But we made up our mind that we would treat sort of beyond that, and as Lynn said and highlighted, to treat for the highest good, even the highest good of that person, so that whatever the outcome of the situation, we realised we had to transcend their behaviour. And not make a judgment on it, although it's difficult, particularly if people close to one can have an instinctive reaction. So we had to go beyond that, helping each other through that, and treat for the highest good, that whatever the outcome would be for the good of all. And to cut a long story short, after a long and lengthy process, taking actions that we trust were inspired, the outcome did achieve that. The highest good was achieved. There was no negative feelings. In fact, I think it restored quite a nice balance and harmony. So it taught us a very powerful lesson. And I would sort of advise anyone involved in any form of prayer to, if there's any feeling of negativity to a person involved in it to step back and allow that to clear and cleanse first, and then to treat for the highest good, so that whatever is good for that person, you're not in any way impeding or impinging upon someone else's evolution or life pattern. You know that they can carry on in their life. You don't have to be involved with them, but you are, in a sense, blessing them in a wider context. And I feel that we both feel it's a very powerful and important principle to take on board with prayer. So back to the book.
Thank you so much for saying that. I just want to thank you for saying that, because that is so important, that we acknowledge that we are treating for the divinity of that person and also for ourselves. We carry that negativity in our own self-talk, don't we? And it's about releasing that as well.
Absolutely.
Bonnie, I know, was had left a message here. Bonnie Morgan is watching us, so hi to Bonnie.
Hello,
it's great
Bonnie.
to have you here.
Hi,
And another hi, Bonnie, and somebody else. Diego, did you just put up a message? And another person. Thank you for speaking spiritual truth this day. Shine on. Yeah.
Shine on.
Shine on.
Shine on. Bless you.
We're here with David and Lin Serlin, who run New Thought UK, and they don't just run New Thought UK. I mean, you are the Finding Shine On lights of New Thought UK, and both incredible spiritual leaders, healers, teachers, and serve humanity in such a dynamic way here from the UK. So yes, David, let's get back to your book, Power for Good. How did prayer? Did you intentionally use prayer or visioning to write your book?
Indeed. I've always visioned processes and projects, and the book was very much marinating for many years. It was something I wanted to do, and over the years, I've always kept notes and journals of experiences. Not going to Sainsbury's and Tesco's. But nothing wrong with that, mind you. But actually key events in our lives that really had a powerful impact on us. And I just knew that at some point in time, I'd want to put it together in a sort of a story. I wanted to convey our understanding of spiritual principles, but in a way that was embraced in a story. So it wasn't just a sort of a 1, 2, 3 documentary style, but actually sort of perhaps be of more interest and more easy to digest. And the title came obviously from the wonderful statement from Ernest Holmes. There is a power for good in the universe greater than us.
We can
and
use
the
it.
bit I love most is that we can use.
That's right.
I've always felt it's great to have this power for good. We love it and acknowledge it, but we need to be able to use it. And once the title came and the book started to come together in the flow, and being a bit of a perfectionist at times, as we both are, we knew it had to be at a point where we could say, right, that's fine. So there was prayer involved in sort of anticipating the project unfolding and seeing the end result, not knowing quite how it would turn out. But when we eventually got the final copy with lots of editing, and Linda's been a genius at editing my works. I'll tell you what, that needs a bit of a prayer. When you spend a year writing a draft and you give it to your wife and say, what do you think? What you're really saying is, you must love it.
Yes.
But do I really want to hear anything that's vaguely critical or comments about, well, that's fantastic, but you ought to perhaps say that or put it that way. So once I got over my initial reaction to someone whose opinion I valued highly, saying, well, I love the book, but maybe you should have said that, or maybe you should have mentioned that a bit more. So after a little redrafting, and then when we got it to the publisher, I must confess, those little editing comments from them proved so valuable, so wise, because now I can look at it and say, I'm so pleased. Albeit that since I've written it, I'm sure I may have said things differently, or new ideas would have come. So the book was very much the result of an ongoing prayer process, and what I'm always hoping is that it will touch people in such a way to bring them into an awareness of the teachings and the philosophy in a way that's not demanding in the sense they have to pour over it late at night and try and work out what we're saying, but something they can follow the story, see how it's worked for us, and then try out the principles in their own life and see how using forgiveness where there's a situation that seems insoluble, using gratitude when life seems to be demanding too much.
Which is also a prayer, Thank you in itself.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. So using all these principles in simple ways in everyday life, and it's not always easy to apply. I mean, we do a lot of work with forgiveness, and do you know what? Trying to forgive someone who may have done something very obstructive or very unpleasant in one's life, it's not easy. But what we do know is that forgiveness, all the principles really is forgiving ourselves, but by letting go of that energy about the other person, we're really healing ourselves.
Yes.
And then the amazing thing is the miracle of prayer and treatment. Basically, we're working on ourselves. We're shifting our own consciousness. So we can't solve problems out there. We can't change people. We can't deal with it outside. But when we shift our own consciousness and that energy and vibration moves in a different direction, amazing things happen. People and circumstances and situations outside begin to change. It's almost the complete opposite. Instead of trying to change people or trying to change circumstances, which we can't do, we change ourselves. And by changing ourselves and the way we think and believe and feel, that energy vibration that shifts out affects people. And this is the beauty. So we know that when people use this process, they come back to us in amazement, saying, do you know what, since I've been doing this, my boss that never even knew I was there comes and compliments me. Or someone else says, our relationship has changed because we seem to have a new understanding, but I've never even spoken to my partner about it. So we know it works. And that's the beauty.
And I should say that with regard to David's book, David writes beautifully. He really does. Just has the gift of words and writing. And we've had so many wonderful testimonials, many of which are actually on Amazon if people want to go and read them. And people saying how much just reading the book has affected them and how beautiful it is, just the words. So, I have to say he has done just a beautiful job, and I would really highly recommend it as a lovely read. As a lovely read. Yeah.
Absolutely. I've written it's fantastic. It's for anybody that wants to understand how we can also, because it's a story of your unfolding and how when we let go and let God, such beautiful things happen. Such beautiful things happen when we set that intention.
Just the one final.
So would you like?
Sorry?
Yes, no, go on. I was going to invite all of us as we come to a close to say to give a prayer together. If there was a final thought, please share.
Of course, yes. Many years ago, we were inspired to set up, organise, and create the first Science of Mind conference in the UK, as it turned out to be. But I just want to say it was a tremendous leap of faith, a leap in the dark, moving literally from nowhere into now here. And I would say to people, sometimes we do our treatments and prayers about I think you mentioned it, Laura, about situations that aren't yet present in our lives. And we need that leap of faith. We know that if we take that first step, Spirit step in and move with us. And we experience that so powerfully that amazing things happen. Amazing divine synchronicities and coincidences came our way out of the blue. And looking back, it was literally miraculous. Once we took that first step, you have to be willing to take it. You can't sit back and do your treatment and prayer and do nothing and wait for the miracles to knock on your door. You have to take that step.
We have to move our feet, treat and move our feet. And it has to come with a knowing that it has already happened. And we are just taking that action towards it because it's already happened. And if we lose that faith, then we're kind of stepping out of the whole energy and consciousness of the whole thing. I love it that you've said that. It's about sticking with it, regardless of what we're seeing in the external. Sticking with what we believe in. Not always easy, but it's what is necessary, isn't it?
Even along the line, we can seek inspiration through prayer, even as we're going along, which is what we did. All the way along, we were praying for the next step. So it was just magical.
So what are we going to pray on now?
We're going to pray.
What's in your heart? We're
going to pray for gratitude. And we're going to pray for shining our lights and shining on in the dark days, the fog of confusion that may be affecting people around the world, or at this time, we're going to know there is a light that shines, which is really sort of uplifting and positive and inspiring, can actually lead us on to a much better and clearer where our life is taking us. So we feel that now. And a big thank you to you, Laura.
Thank you so much, Laura, for inviting us.
Talking about leap of faith, for you stepping out and creating this context and situation, which is so positive and powerful. Really sort of.
Yeah, thank you for bringing your joy and your passion to it as well. It's just
and I can
lovely
see,
atmosphere.
We can really see you really love it. You create,
yeah.
you show that energy and passion. So, you know, shine on.
Oh, thank you, David. Well, I'm going to begin, and then I'm going to just hand it over to you and Lynn, because I know that you and Lynn are so masterful and have such an incredible way of bringing a spiritual mind treatment into shape and form. So will that be okay with you?
Absolutely.
Lovely.
Perfect. Okay, so let's close our eyes here, and whoever is joining us right now in this moment, if you're here live, or if you are watching this afterwards, then know that you are in this space of love, because right here and now we are connected as one. Wherever we are on this planet, we are in the heart and in the mind and in the knowing of the divine. And that divine, God, the creative intelligence, love, life, whatever it is we choose to call this, I know this as this something, this ineffable, that cannot actually be pinned down by a word, because it is a knowing. It is a knowing of a greater, higher presence that is always here, that is always present, and is always seeking to express through everything with goodness, as love, as peace and harmony, and as prosperity, of course, and joy. And I know that that is present right now. And I'm grateful for that, because I know and I recognize that this one presence is seeking to express as love through everything. And as I unite with this, I know in my heart and in my whole being that I am one with this presence. And that as I expand in my knowing and my consciousness, that I open up to a greater understanding as being that vessel for this love that is here right now. And I realize this for myself, and I realize this for everybody that is listening right now, and for Diego, for Reverend Robert, for all of New Thought Media, that this love is shining through, just as it is for David and for Lynn that are here on the Cosmic Prayer today. And as I know this love is here and present, I know that it is working its way so that we can be the greater expression of it right now. And I'm so grateful for this. I am just so grateful. And I'm going to pass this on to David and Lynn.
And as I tune into this one power, I know it expresses the bright light, a beacon of light, which shines forth from me and from everybody. And I feel it deep in my soul. These feelings of love, of beauty, wisdom and joy, the essence of life itself, bringing everyone up to a new level of consciousness where we can all unite with our divine source and spread this wonderful joy, this fantastic light, and this fantastic new awareness into the world, so that it may touch every soul, every human being, to create a world that works for all, to create a world of love, compassion and kindness, where we can all appreciate the beauty of our lives, the joy of our lives, and the sacredness of life itself in everything we think, say, and do in everything that we see, that there is divinity in everything.
We know and understand and believe and totally accept that there is a powerful good in the universe greater than we are. Not only can we use it, it can use us. We are vessels and outlets for that wisdom, that intelligence, that power, that love, that beauty right now. So while we're going through times and challenges and difficult situations, we know there is a light that shines through that we can apply and employ and see the results manifest in our lives on a daily basis. So we acknowledge that power, we give it credence, we give it total focus. And in our prayers, they can be very simple. They can be words of gratitude and thank you. It can be just acknowledging that there is this wisdom, infinite intelligence far beyond us that can, in a sense, take that wrap of concern off our shoulders, deal with it, coming from a place of total knowing and understanding of the solution beyond our comprehension at the moment. So right now we release our thoughts into that power, that infinite mind, knowing that whatever's going on in our lives on a wider basis or even on individual basis, whatever concerns, we can release and let go into that power, knowing the solution, whatever it may be, for the highest good, the perfect outcome, may now manifest and express itself and reveal itself to us in a perfect way. If we're willing to take that step, that one step forward in faith, that allow spirit and the divine mind to work with us, and hold our hand, move in that direction with us, in the direction of our dreams and hopes and aspirations, despite, regardless of what appears to be happening in the outer. We know that in the inner, we are peace, we are poise, we are harmony, we are healing. So in that wisdom and understanding, we give thanks for this opportunity tonight to share with you. We give thanks to Laura for creating this context, for Diogo for setting up the wonderful technology that enables this to be communicated to so many people. We give thanks for this opportunity to share our take, our particular individual perspective on prayer and affirmation. And we say, use it, use this power. It is there to be used and enjoyed and become part of life. So together, as we release this powerful word into the law, we give gratitude, we give thanks, we let go and we let God, and we say together, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, David and Lynn, for joining the Cosmic Prayer. It's just been an absolute joy and blessing. And I hope that you come on next year as well. Keep us updated with what you're doing. And for listeners, you can tune in to David and Lin Serlin at New Thought, New You. The website is right there. Or on Facebook, New Thought UK, where you can get all of Lynn's amazing posts that she posts regularly, inspirational posts, and connect with them on Messenger here. For everybody that's watching, thank you for being here on the Cosmic Prayer, whether you're live or whether you're catching up. You're watching this through New Thought Media Network. And if this has touched your heart and the depths of your soul in any way, you are welcome to leave a love offering for New Thought Media Network, who do incredible work as a focus ministry. Thank you, Amber. You are beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much, David and Lynn. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Chris, for being here. It's great to be here with you this week. And if you're moved by this, please feel free to leave a love offering. I know that the link gets posted here in the post along with this, to this glorious network that is doing incredible work to bring spiritual practice awareness to hundreds and hundreds and thousands and millions of people around the world. And if you would like to sponsor the Cosmic Prayer, please do. You can contact New Thought Media Network through the Facebook page. If that is something you'd love to do, then we are open for that here on the Cosmic Prayer. There we go. Or you can connect with ntmedia.org. Love and blessings to everybody. And thank you again, Lynn and David. And see you next week on the Cosmic Prayer.
Don't forget to shine on.
Thank you for listening to Cosmic Prayer, your weekly shift with Laura Topper on the New Thought Media Network. If you've enjoyed this programming, please tell a friend and join us again next week for Cosmic Prayer, your weekly shift with Laura Topper.